The process of taking out your beautiful hair. It's a very important process that not a lot of people talk about.
We're going to start with our infused oil. We have rosemary, which helps with premature graying. Coriander, it helps with hair growth. Aniseed, relief from dandruff or flakes. And finally, we have clove, which helps reduce the rate of hair falling out. I'm going to get some of that beautiful oil on my fingers, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction of that twist. So I'm twirling it around my finger in the opposite direction until I can feel it unraveling. Once I can see and feel it, I gently pull it apart. I'm going to do the exact same thing for the rest of that bottom half. I'll show you guys one more time in slow motion. Don't rush this process, take your time, and make sure that you're using that oil every 3 to 4 twists. You want to make sure the moisture and the oil is really coming through. Once again, we're just twisting in the opposite direction until it loosens up, and then you'll gently pull it apart and keep unraveling in the opposite direction. I've kept this style in for 2 full days. I haven't put any oil or water in it, so that's why it's essential to constantly dab that finger into that oil so that it's not frizzy as you're taking it out. As we transition to our Bantu knots, this one is exactly the same idea. You are literally untwisting that cap or that screw and then pulling it out. For some of our Bantu knots, we're going to find the end and have to unravel it round by round. Look at this beautiful bounce. We're going to take out all of our Bantu knots, give our head a nice tender shake before we go on to the final section. My Bantu knots were in 2-strand twists before I put them into the Bantu knots. So now in this round, I'm going to go back to every single Bantu knot and unravel that 2-strand twist exactly the same way that we did our back half. Just a reminder to keep dabbing your fingers into that beautiful oil every 3 to 4 twists. We want to make sure that as we're taking out the hair, it is still receiving that beautiful moisture. Once you think you've done everything, just double check your hair. Chances are there are 1 or 2 left in there that you do need to unravel and take out. Once you have finished taking out your 2-strand twists and your Bantu knots, shake your hair around a little bit, especially at the root of the hair, just so that those parts are not so apparent. Personally, I don't like to fluff out my hair on day 1. I know that by day 5, my hair is going to naturally grow big and beautifully. So I like these tight curls. I like what they look like. So right now, I'm just considering different styles that I'd like to do for today. There are truly so many beautiful options. Comment below and let me know which ones you liked between 1 and 5. Today, I'm going to go with option number 1. I'm going to grab a clip and clip it in. I'm not using a mirror, I'm just using this phone, so I'm going to position curls where I feel they look best. Once I'm confident, we're going to call it a day. I love it. This is day 1. I am very happy with my result. I'm going to show you a few still photos and keep watching because there is a night routine that we need to do before we go to bed. Before going to bed, our hair is so special that the day you take it out, you're not done. You have to constantly give it love every night and every morning. What I'm going to do is grab chunks of hair, it doesn't really matter how much, and do 2-strand twists. I'm not going to use any of that oil. There was enough from this morning, and I'll probably end up doing about 10 twists, maybe 10 to 12. Make sure that you're twisting all the way down to the bottom. Let's keep in mind that our front half was Bantu knots. If you notice, I'm only going to do 2-strand twists because I would like a little bit of length for tomorrow. I am just about finished. I'm trying to pull these back because I feel like I'm a little bit embarrassed with how they were sticking out to the side, but I shouldn't be. Look at this oil that has come through from this morning, nice and hydrated. Finally, what I'm going to do is get my head wrap, and I'm going to wrap my hair before I go to bed. My main focus is to make sure that the head is completely covered. I'm going to put it on my head, make sure all of my twists are inside of there, then tie it up. I normally have a couple of twists that hang out. I'm okay with that. And I also want to show you that I don't like tight things on my head. So I do not put that scarf too tight and it will not fall off. Sleep well.